Kylum Labs. We are Kylum Labs. We are a company developing blockchain solutions at Doc, and we also have one of our branches are divulgation and dissemination of blockchain technologies and blockchain philosophy. Today we have Thibaut that is a lawyer and specialized in digital affairs and also blockchain, and he's also a writer. And today we are going to present Cryptobooks.club, that is one of his projects. That is a platform based in blockchain that includes all the actors that are in the editorial industry. So if you want to follow us, I guess you come from the meetup, but we have also Twitter and a newsletter that you can find in newsletter.kylumlabs.com. And that's all. So I will leave thank you, of course, thank you Gigamesh for letting us stay here today. So Thibaut, if you want.
Thank you. Lo siento si hablo en inglés. Mi español está demasiado malo para hacer una conferencia. So everybody speaks or understands English. It's okay for you? Yes? And some French speakers, maybe? Ah, bon, bah, donc bonsoir. Bonsoir pour, because as you certainly understood, I'm a French speaker myself, and I write in French. And so this is a double purpose of this meeting. It's speaking about Cryptobooks.club and also presenting, if you are interested, my new novel. And both projects are linked. It's not a coincidence that I speak or address both issues. So as Ferran said, I'm a lawyer. I'm also a novelist. And my background has been for many years now interaction between laws and technologies. So laws, basically, I think it's very boring, laws. And unless there is that interaction between regulations and technology. So my passion as a lawyer is to try to define new regulations around new technologies, because technologies are pushing the regulators sometimes, most of the time, to reinvent regulations that are more adapted to the new regulations. It was the case 20 years ago with the internet. I started as an internet lawyer 20 years ago, and now it's the same with blockchain. And blockchain, it's another order of magnitude in terms of shift of paradigm, because blockchain is a decentralized network, right? Just very, very briefly what blockchain is. So who's familiar with blockchain? No, another question. Who bought Bitcoins or cryptocurrencies? Not bad, not bad, not bad. So, and welcome to everyone, to you. Take your time, no problem. So okay, it's a good proportion in a way. It's a good proportion. Maybe 1/3 of the people, so it's good. So for the other people who might not be familiar with cryptocurrencies and blockchain, and does anyone have no knowledge about blockchain and maybe need some explanation? Does anyone need some explanation about blockchain? Lucy, maybe, but or you are too shy to admit it. And there is no shame to confess that your blockchain might remain some mysterious, because it is mysterious in a way. So blockchain is a network of it's a network of computers that we call nodes, and that are interconnected. So those computers nodes are interconnected, and on each of those nodes you have a perfect replication of all the information, all the transactions that are taking place on the network. So every computer, every node has a copy, I would say, a copy of all the information, and no one is the central server distributing the information to the others. All the nodes are equal. So this is the first principle of blockchain equality between all the nodes. Everyone has the same information, everyone. And those nodes are validating all the information, all the transactions taking place through the network using cryptography. Okay, I will not go into the details of cryptography here because it's not the point. The point is here, the point is to be very practical and pragmatical about the use of blockchain. That's why I am presenting Cryptobooks. I will explain what Cryptobooks is, and you will see it's very easy to understand. Very easy to understand. So I want to showcase that blockchain is very practical, something daily life. It's not something fancy. And so that blockchain is, I will use an image. Blockchain is like the internet, but the internet is a decentralized network like blockchain. But there is a big difference between the internet and blockchain, is that when you are on the internet, you can exchange in a decentralized way, meaning you don't need the permission of anyone to exchange information. So I can publish a blog, I can publish a website, I can send you an email, and peer-to-peer, send you information, any information I want, as long as the information is digital, right? But there is something I cannot do with the internet the way it is conceived today. Something I cannot do is I cannot send you a value, something which has a value as such, like currency, like money. If I send you euros by email, doesn't work. You can say, yeah, I can send you my PayPal address. Yeah, okay, but PayPal is using the banking system, right? And so at the end, if I want to send you something which has a value as such, like currencies, money, I need, even if I use the internet, I need the banking system. Credit cards, for instance, the credit card code in this can be sent by email, right? But if you want to get paid, it's through the banking system you will be paid. And so there was a lack of a system where you could pay someone in a decentralized way without using centralized banking system, right? And so Bitcoin was invented for exactly that purpose, and it became massive. And after, it's kind of a coincidence, but it's not. After the crisis of 2008 and 9, the subprime crisis, because there was that coincidence between that new technology that just came public on the internet, Bitcoin, and the fact that millions of people distrusted the banking system after the crisis. People say we cannot trust the banks anymore, because look at what happened. Banks are supposed to guarantee our monetary system, but they failed. And look at where we are because of the bank. So you had a coincidence between the technology and the need of many people to get rid of a centralized banking system that failed, right? That's how Bitcoin actually became popular among a first community of users that were mostly geeks in the beginning, but it became gradually more and more popular. And if you look back at the last month, you see that we speak more and more about blockchain, cryptocurrencies, bitcoins, etc. ICOs. You know what ICOs are, right? Yeah, ICOs. So the ICOs is, we say ICOs like IPOs because some blockchain companies or startups to get financed, to get funds, right? And instead of selling their shares or debts and getting funds in exchange, so I give you shares of my company. You give me funds in euro. Instead of doing so, I give you tokens, my tokens, like my cryptocurrency, and you give me either other cryptocurrencies like bitcoins that have a value, on the market, because bitcoins or ethers or the big cryptocurrencies, they have a value, right? Because you can trade them on exchange platforms. Am I going too fast? It's okay? Am I going too fast? So a Bitcoin, sorry, because I know some people are knowledgeable about Bitcoin and crypto, others are not. It's not an easy subject for people who are not into it. And so Bitcoin or Ethers or the big cryptocurrencies you heard of, they have a value because you can trade them. You can exchange them on dedicated exchange platforms like Binance, right? The biggest one is Binance, right? So it's like stock exchanges. You can trade them. So in ICOs, people said, blockchain startups say, give me your Bitcoins because they have a value. I can trade them. If I need cash, I can trade my Bitcoins and get cash, right? Give me your Bitcoins or Ethers, and I give you tokens. And tokens, it's not shares. Tokens, it's like a voucher. It's the token that will be used. I know it's abstract. It's tokens that will be used to use the service that is promised by the startup. Example, I'm launching a new blockchain. I am launching a new application on a blockchain. Cryptobooks is an application on a blockchain. The difference is that we have not done an ICO, and I will explain why. We have not done an ICO. But for about 2 years, maybe 3 years, you saw hundreds of ICOs popping up, blah, 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 like mushrooms. Hundreds of ICOs raising, I know the figures now, the numbers is about 20 billion were raised in ICOs over the last 3 years. So it's not something small. If you compare it to IPOs, it's as big as the venture capital for startups in general globally. So it's big. So you had a shift of many projects, blockchain projects, that instead of being funded through classical means, VCs, investment funds, IPOs, right? They use ICOs. And in the beginning, it was like this, very fast. In a few minutes, some projects got the funding, few minutes. And after it became more and more complicated, it created a bubble. And finally, like any bubble, it exploded, or explosion or correction, but it was a drastic correction. And that's what happened over the last month. So you have heard about the collapse of the crypto market. There are several reasons of that collapse. But one of the reasons of the collapse is the fact that many ICOs were either scams, right? Or immature project. Young people saying, look, easy money there, easy money. Let's do an ICO. So we're going to raise a lot of funds. And many of those ICOs were not mature enough, or even scams. And so there is a point where the market realized that. They say, okay, so now you have raised maybe 20 million euros. 20 million euros, many ICOs raise about 20, 30, 40, 50 million euros, even more. And after a few months, they, okay, you got the money, but where is the technology you promised? When are you delivering what you promised? And many of those projects were unable to deliver. And so it created a panic in the market. It's not the only reason. And there are also reasons coming from the United States and China, where SEC, the regulator in US, became more and more severe, strict about regulations around ICOs and cryptocurrencies, and China same. And so it created a pressure on the market. And so many people who were buying tokens for short-term profits ran away, because those people are, running away as easily as they came, because they are opportunistic investors. And that explained the collapse of the market. So today, that's where we are. Today, we are in a situation where the market has lost about 85–90% of its value compared to 1 year ago. But the value of today is 100 times bigger than 3 years ago. You got me? So we need to understand that we are still in a situation where something completely new, popped up out of nothing. If you compare blockchain and crypto economy to a startup, if you compare it, that is a very successful startup, because from nothing, it became an actual ecosystem with cryptocurrencies that work, with many projects, and with a bubble that was subject to a correction by the market. But this is normal. So today, the market is in a process of cleansing itself, meaning the collapse of the market is good. Is good. And I'm explaining this to you to make the transition to Cryptobooks.club. Cryptobooks.club is a project that I co-founded. We are 5 passionate people about blockchain who co-founded Cryptobooks.club. We launched the project some months ago, and in the middle of the ICO craziness. But we knew that there was a craziness about ICOs, and we wanted to showcase that it was possible to launch a blockchain project that makes sense, and I will explain to you why it makes sense, that makes sense without an ICO. Without an ICO, because we don't want, because actually we believe that we don't need an ICO, because an ICO means that that you are issuing a new token, right? There is no ICO if you are not issuing your own token. But in most ICOs, the new tokens have no sense. Economically speaking, they are meaningless. It's just an excuse to raise funds. An excuse to raise funds. So we say we don't need an ICO, but still, blockchain here is very meaningful because it is a solution, a real solution to a real problem. So what is the problem? The problem here that we are addressing, the problem is the publishing industry. Okay, we are in a library here. So a library or a bookshop, that's the last chain of the publishing chain, the publishing industry. This is the last chain, right? This is the last element of the chain. You buy books in a library, but you have an author, the start of the chain, of the publishing chain, that's the author, me, my books. I will say a few words about my books. I am an author. I'm the first part of the chain, the writer, the author. After you, and when you have written your book, you have to make your book, right? You have to fabricate your book. So for a book, you need a cover. You need a designer. You need also proofreader. People will read your book and correct the typing mistakes, improve the style maybe, highlight some mistakes you could have done in your book. And after, if you want to make the promotion of your book, you need a community manager, communication, marketeers, etc. So there is a community of professionals around the book just to fabricate the book. Then you have the editor or publisher. Most of the time, that's the publisher who makes the book. After, you have the distributor. So this is the company, and most of the time, the big guys with the big muscles, they are the distributors, not the publishers. Those who are making the real profits, and who take the lion's share of the pie. They are the distributors, not the bookshops, not the publishers, but the distributors. That's the guys who are delivering the books here. But they are not just delivering the books, they are also deciding what books will be distributed in the bookshops, right? And so you have a chain of intermediaries. The problem is that chain is not transparent. That chain is a black box for the authors, especially for the authors. So me, as an author, I don't know how many books are being sold. I have no clue. Even if my publisher is being distributed through Amazon, which is the case for all publishers. There is no one single publisher on this planet now who is not distributed through Amazon. Every publisher on this planet is being distributed through Amazon. You cannot avoid Amazon. But me, as an author, I have not access to the figures of the sales of my publisher on Amazon, which is insane, right? And so what happened to me with my first book, Amalek, the first book there, is that my publisher was a professional, well-known publisher in the French-speaking area. And my publisher never reported to me the actual number of sales of the books and never paid me my royalties. It just cheated. It just ripped me off. I realized then that it was a common practice. Because I'm a lawyer, I am normally well equipped to sue my publisher, which I did. And I broke the contract with my publisher. But still today, I have not been paid by my publisher because it's very difficult. Even if you sue a publisher, even the judge has no actual means to verify the accuracy of the figures communicated by the publisher. Could lie even to the judge. So I have no way to know the exact number of books that are being sold by my publisher or by Amazon. No way as an author. Black box with bad practices leads to blockchain. Blockchain, as we said, is a decentralized network where you can make transactions, right? In a decentralized way, and which guarantees transparency of all the transactions. You cannot cheat. You cannot lie because the transactions are recorded in an immutable way on the blockchain itself. Okay, you following me? It's like a ledger. It's like a ledger which is public and transparent for everyone. It's like a notary. There are also notaries in Spain. It's like a notary ledger that everyone could read, right? And no way of cheating. This is not possible to cheat with a blockchain. And so we decided to launch an application on the Ethereum blockchain. And Ethereum blockchain, this is the second, sorry, because Mama is sending a message with, so I don't know, Ferran, is it your computer? So you want me to respond to Mama? Because yeah, or maybe you can put Mama on a webcam so she's with us, you know. And okay, this is the beauty of internet, you know. There's no privacy. There is no privacy. It's funny, and so Ethereum, we are using Ethereum. Ethereum is the second largest public blockchain in the world, right? After Bitcoin. Ethereum that we are using, Ethereum, has a big difference with Bitcoin, because on Ethereum you can code or develop what we call smart contracts. Okay, smart contracts. A smart contract, that's actually a software that you can add to the blockchain and which will be processed by the blockchain itself in a decentralized way. So no one in particular is operating the software, the smart contract. That's the entire community of miners, of nodes, which are operating the smart contract. So every time you use the smart contract, you have to pay a small amount of cryptocurrencies to the network. This is a price to pay to use the smart contracts, but it's very tiny, it's very small, right? But the advantage is that it is decentralized, so meaning that no one can stop it. So once you have launched your smart contract on Ethereum, no one can stop it. So we launch a contract on Ethereum that even us as developers, we cannot stop it. As long as there are miners, so nodes, to operate the network, it's going to continue to work and to exist. As long as people are willing to use the smart contract, nobody can stop it. That's very interesting. So no government, no bank, no one can stop the smart contract here. No one. To stop it, you need to destroy the blockchain. Good luck. Even if you detonate a nuke, you know what a nuke is, nuclear bomb, you know, a nuke. Even if you detonate a nuke on China and you kill all the Chinese miners in China, you will not destroy the blockchain. The blockchain will continue to live in many places around the planet because this is decentralized. It's all over the planet. So you would need to destroy all the nodes, and there are thousands of them everywhere on the planet. It's not possible. It's not possible. No way. So it is extremely resilient to any kind of attacks or aggressions by hackers or by governments. So interesting. So we cannot stop it and we cannot cheat. So every time there is a transaction, so every time we sell a book through Cryptobooks.club, it is recorded on the blockchain. It is recorded on the blockchain. So we cannot lie about the sales. No one can lie about the sales. So it works like Amazon. This is a beta version. So you cannot buy books today. You will be able to do it in 2 or 3 weeks, early February. We start in French because the team is French or French speaking. But it's gonna be after available probably in 2 months in English, with ebooks in English, and certainly we'll upgrade to Spanish because Spanish is a major language. So probably we'll upgrade to Spanish this year, but maybe, I don't know, maybe in 6 months. And I will show you how it works, and after I will explain the business model behind it, right? Because there is a business model. And so you have an easygoing platform. You can see it's an easygoing platform. So you have the catalog of the books. Here, just a demonstration, a demo, right? So you can select a book. This is the book of the month. It's just for the sake of the demonstration here, right? And so I say acheter, buy, comprar. And I say I have the, like on Amazon, huh? I have the summary of the book. I say, okay, I have the price. You see the price is in euro. The price is not in cryptocurrencies. The price is in euro. And I say, okay, I want to buy it. Then I choose the cryptocurrencies with which I will buy it. It means that you are supposed to have cryptocurrencies. And we are accepting today the 20 most liquid cryptocurrencies in the world. Liquid meaning cryptocurrencies that you can trade easily. So when you get them, you can sell them, right? You are not stuck with your cryptocurrencies. And today it's only Ethereum compatible cryptocurrencies, which means 80% of the cryptocurrencies. That we call REC20 tokens that are being used for ICOs, but forget about this. It's not important. And so I decided to say, okay, I'm using this. I am here. I am one. I am copy pasting my Ethereum address. And Ethereum address, an Ethereum address is like a bank account on the blockchain. Okay, when you have a wallet, when you have cryptocurrencies, what you have is not something physical, right? It's not something physical. You have actually an address on the blockchain, which is like, you see this, a set of characters, and it works like a bank account. It works like a bank account. And on that address, you have your crypto assets. So I indicate my account, my crypto account. I indicate my email address because you see, it's very easy going, straightforward, because I don't need to open a real account. Just my address, my email address, and that's it. And then I say pay, and I have a screen that says, okay, this is based on the cryptocurrencies you choose. The smart contract calculates automatically its value, its counter value. Are you following me? So the price is in euro. The price is in euro. And when you choose the cryptocurrencies, the smart contract is interrogating crypto exchanges to know the value of the day, the market values, and make the conversion. Why are we doing it? To avoid the volatility of the tokens. That's why we set the price in euros, because tokens are too volatile. They are too volatile. So for the authors like me, I need a guarantee that I will receive always the same counter value in euros. It's 18 euros, it must be 18 euros. Maybe it's in cryptocurrencies, but it must be the counter value of 18 euros. And maybe every day it will fluctuate, right? But the counter value is always in euros. That's as long as the cryptocurrencies are too volatile, that's the only way we can do it, right? And so I say payer, pagar, and I receive my ebook. Now, in a future development, it's a matter of a couple of months, you will be able to buy books with your credit card, also with your credit card, or with PayPal, or with all the means of payments that you are used to. And then with, for instance, your credit card, you will, and it's for you, it will be invisible. You will buy a token real time. You will buy a token that will activate the smart contract. Now I am explaining why, and you will understand the business model and the real value of this. Our promise with Cryptobooks, more than accepting cryptocurrencies that might sound a little bit like a gadget for some of you, our real promise is not really that. Our real promise, because you will be able to buy with your credit cards. It's okay. Our real promise is the transparency. Is the transparency of the transactions, the honesty of the transaction. That's our promise. Is that with Cryptobooks.club, no more lies. This is our promise, right? And so what we want is that everyone involved in the publishing chain, everyone, the authors, the designer of the cover, the translator of the books into English or Spanish, the publisher itself, if he wants to get involved, etc. everyone involved will get its shares of the sales in a transparent way, because the transactions are recorded on the blockchain, and because when the smart contract receives the tokens, they are distributed immediately to the wallets of the different, parties involved in the publishing chain. You understand? It's immediate, transparent, and costless. No cost. No transaction fees, no banking fees, costless, and real time. And so our business model is, we have self-publishing authors, editors or publishers, and ebook distributors. Self-publishing authors is like me for my second book. My first book was published by a real publisher. My second book, Libre, is self-published. I decided to self-publish also because I was so excited to do it through Cryptobooks.club, but I also self-published my book today on Amazon. So this is Libre, which is today in French, is available on Amazon. Paperback. On Amazon, you can buy books in paper or ebooks. And in addition, Libre will be also distributed through Cryptobooks. I do both because our point is not to disrupt Amazon. That would be very ambitious and maybe a little bit too pretentious, but just to add something to Amazon that is an option to or a complement to the authors and the publishers if they want to address a new community of buyers and benefit from the transparency of the blockchain. I believe that some authors will only self-publish on Cryptobooks in the future, probably, because once we will have a community of buyers which is big enough, you better be published through our platform than through other platforms where you have no visibility on the sales. But we'll see the evolution. But today, my recommendation is do both. Self-publish on Amazon and on Cryptobooks. Do both. Don't do it only on our platform, because we are today. It's just we are too small compared to Amazon, right? Test the system, test it, but do it on Amazon too, no problem. And so either you self-publish. If you self-publish, it's very easy. You have a dedicated access. You upload your book, and it's done. It's very easy. In the future, it's among the developments of the platform. We will also create, and we have started already to do it. We will create a community of partners who will help the authors self-publish. Designers, proofreader, translator. For instance, in my case, Libre today is being translated into English by a translator in the US, and the translator in the US accepted to get paid through the smart contract. So a portion of the tokens that I will receive will go to the translator. For the translator, the advantage is the transparency. I cannot cheat on the numbers. Even myself, I cannot lie about the numbers to my translator, right? And so we are inventing a new way to publish here, a new way to self-publish, and a new way also to go international, because translations are even harder than getting published. Getting published is difficult, but getting translated, it's even more difficult because it's very costly, right? And so self-publishing with possibility of being translated through a community of translators, and a possibility to be helped by professionals to fabricate the book and publishers that will go through our platform. We have today publishers who have signed with us, well-known publishers who have signed with us because they say, I'm interested in crypto books because actually, you know, it's just an additional channel of distribution for us. You know, so as long as they have the agreement of the authors they represent, they can distribute their books on crypto. We are not against publishers at all. It's just they are partners for us. And we have also agreements with ebook platforms that distribute thousands of ebooks. And so eventually we will have thousands of ebooks to distribute through Cryptobooks. So we will be eventually like Amazon in terms of number of ebooks. You know, it's not just a few ebooks, but thousands of ebooks will be distributed eventually on our platforms. That's in a nutshell what we are doing through Cryptobooks. Questions, because I have talked a lot so far. Questions? Yeah. Yeah. It's a very good question. The very first version that we are launching, we have no, so DRM, that's digital rights management, DRM. So when you buy an ebook, on Amazon, for instance, you the ebook is encrypted, meaning that it's not easy to send it to someone by email and that other person will read it. There is a protection. There is a cryptographic protection on the file, right? And we, in the very first version, we have not implemented DRM. So my books, for instance, if you want, you buy them. If you want to send them by email to a friend of yours, by email, you can do it. We will implement DRMs probably later on, but all the ebooks that are being distributed by our publishers partners and the ebooks that we distribute coming from ebook platforms, they have DRM. So actually the big majority of our ebooks will be protected by DRM. It's today only if you self-publish that we have not implemented the system yet. It's just a question of development. No, what I need to stress out is that, and that's why Cryptobooks is an interesting project, is that we have not raised any funding. So this is a self-finance project. You know, we have spent in euros, we have spent less than 3,000 euros for Cryptobooks, which is nothing, because everyone in the project is smart contract partners, not equity partners. So for instance, our first publisher partner is in the smart contract. So he is helping us tremendously to understand the publishing industry, to get the right alliances. He's our partners, but he's not our partners in a company. He's our partners in the smart contract. You have to understand that. And this is how we will change the economy. And for lawyers, it's important because we are facing here a new economy where you can be partners in smart contracts, but not in companies. Because if your business goes through smart contract, you don't need a company anymore. We set up a company because we still need to pay some bills in euros, right? And or taxes. We need to pay the taxes. We have to pay VAT. The VAT, we cannot pay them in tokens. The tax administration will not accept today VAT in tokens. We need to pay taxes. So we need a company to pay the taxes. But our partners in the project, they are not equity partners. Equity meaning they are not shareholders of a company. They are in the smart contract because it's for them much more reliable to be in a smart contract than to be an equity partner. An equity partner, you can do whatever you want. You can cheat, you can lie, you can manipulate, you can falsify everything you want. And you go to jail, you go to court, not necessarily to jail, but you go to court and you litigate, and it takes time, energies, money, etc. I am a lawyer, so I'm not defending my own castle, but this is the judicial system, and it's a nightmare, just a nightmare. You have a litigation, it takes years, it can ruin you, and at the end, no one actually wins, right? And so in a smart contract, your partners are in the smart contract. So there is no way of cheating. They are also, a smart contract is not an absolute solution, because sometimes you need some flexibility in the relationships. Not everything can be translated in a smart contract. But things like this, yes, the distribution of royalties, the distribution of revenues towards partners, through a smart contract, it's the perfect solution. It's a perfect solution. No one can block a payment or say, I don't like your face. You are a jerk. You have not delivered what you promised, so I don't pay you. Come on, you don't pay me. It's not fair. Let's go to court. Okay, no one wants to go to court, and with a smart contract, it's not possible. It's not possible. The smart contract will distribute automatically the shares, the agreed shares, to the right people. Period. Right? And so we wanted to showcase it was possible to launch a crypto blockchain project that brings an actual solution to an actual problem without ICOs, big funding, and I'm the king of the world and I will change the world with blockchain, but give me first 20 million euros. No, and this is not healthy. It's not healthy. So Cryptobook is one of the few projects now in the world which has that approach. We first deliver, we showcase, we bring a solution, and then we'll see after how it works, how it goes. Maybe it's gonna be a failure in terms of market. We don't know. We need to meet customers here. We need to have buyers. Ebooks is not a problem. Finding ebooks to distribute through our platform, we realized it was much easier than we thought. After a few weeks, we had thousands of ebooks on our platform. It's easy. Getting ebooks was the easy part of, which is good news, because we thought it would be much more difficult. Our challenge now is to get the buyers, is to get the buyers. And yeah. Yeah. Again, we will not really competing with Amazon, because we believe that most people will do both. It's just an add-on to Amazon, and you can, yeah, because there is no cost for you. There is no cost for you as an author or a publisher to go on Cryptobooks. There is no cost. For the buyers, we need to create a community around it, and that's we all know it. This is what is the most difficult part of it, is it? So, in our team involved in Cryptobooks, we have community managers. We have community managers in the smart contract. So among the active members of the team, there are community managers. Their job is creating a community around a project, and they're being paid in smart contract too, and they're key people. But we need to do what you have to do to promote a new business, to do things like this, even if it is a family-minded session here. But we need to go to publishing fairs to have some attention from the press. There is no miracle. To have some partnerships and partnerships also with publishers. Publishers will be very helpful, because publishers will also, if we have partnership with big publishers, it will help a lot, because they will get attention. But we will also create partnership with libraries. What we will do, and we have started approaching some libraries, and the feedback is very positive. What we'll do is, when you will buy a book, you will have the possibility to send a portion of the proceeds to libraries in your region, and the libraries of the selected to receive a portion of the sales, of the proceeds. In return, will promote Cryptobooks in the library with just a sign, you know, open up an account here, or get your Ethereum address here, you know. Just a very easygoing promotion of Cryptobooks in the libraries, and they will get a portion of the sales based on the geographical position of the libraries. So you will have to either indicate from what country you are and what region you are buying, or accept to be geolocated. There's something we need to develop. This is a future development of the platform, because the purpose is not to be against the libraries either, you know. And libraries are not in a very good shape, and but we are distributing ebooks here, so it's interesting to find a way to team up with libraries with ebooks, because we are not their competitors. We are not their competitors. You know, they are not selling ebooks here, right? Today, 100% of the books are ebooks because everything is digital. Yeah, today. Yeah, because they're coming from Amazon. Yeah, they're coming from Amazon, because Amazon you can print paperback books on demand on Amazon. It works well. Amazon is a terrific system for self-publishing. Let's face it. The problem of Amazon is that it's killing the libraries, and that it's a black box also. It's also a black box. It's also a black box. You know, if my publisher will go through Amazon, but I don't have access to the figures of my publisher on Amazon. It's not normal, but that's the way it is. Yeah, question there?
Hello. Oh. About the right management, CRM, about the DRM, sorry, digital right management.
Yeah.
So there are some alternative projects where there is no, like, the content is not protected from copy. Still, they manage to have value with registering the consumers of some content. So the value of the tokens is assigned depending on how many people access to some token. To some, for example, there is a book and everybody wants to download it, and then you know that the authors, they deserve more value for the work they did.
Yeah.
So there are some projects that are already working based on these principles.
It's not our model today. I have I've been advising another project which is similar to this one, which is copyrightcoins.com, which is a very good project in Estonia, and they issue their own cryptocurrencies to pay musicians, and the value of the cryptocurrencies is determined by the value of the underlying copyright. So by the number of actually streams being done on Spotify, and to be, you know, clear. And so Spotify, if Spotify wants to stream a song of an artist which is represented by that blockchain platform, copyright.coins.com, Spotify needs to pay the artist in that cryptocurrency. Cannot pay in fiat currencies, because today, if you are a musician, even if you are Adele, and your famous Hello song is being streamed 2 million times per day, and you get your share of the royalties after about 2 years. You have to wait 2 years, average between 18 and 3 years, to get your shares, your royalties. So it doesn't work. And knowing that part of the streams are just lost in space. You don't know why. And because, again, this is a black box, and with many intermediaries. And one of them is the collecting societies that are completely unable to cope with online digital music. completely mess. And so blockchain, again here, it's a slightly different industry, but you have the same basic problems, but just the intermediaries are different. But you have the same kind of problem. Blockchain is, again, a good solution. A good solution, because if Spotify is obliged to go through a blockchain to pay artists, first, it's transparent. It's transparent, so Spotify cannot lie. Nobody knows how many times. Nobody knows how many times a song is being streamed on Spotify, except Spotify. You agree? You have to trust Spotify. I'm not saying they are liars, but you got my point. And so it's transparent and it's immediate. It's immediate. So the artist gets its share royalties in a few minutes, and it's almost costless, because it's not royalties being paid through a bank account. You know, bank accounts are very expensive. If you are an artist in England, and the song has been played in Spain, right? The collecting society is collecting the royalties in Spain and must wire you shares to England. You pay banking fees, right? Today we really wanted to do something as simple as possible for the users. Say, it's like Amazon. It's like Amazon, and you can buy with your cryptocurrencies, and soon with your credit cards. And our promise is just that everything will be transparent, because on the blockchain. But basically, it's not different compared to Amazon. And we have not entered into a question of because what you are saying would mean that we should have our own token. We don't want that. We don't want it. There are too many tokens. Let's use the existing tokens.
In order to build the community, have the authors considered tokenizing their books, where the fans can basically pay for or buy and invest in a share of that book? So whenever a user purchases that book, the fan would automatically get sent a portion of the revenue by smart contract?
It's a good question again. It's not our business model. Cryptobooks.club that I just mentioned has adopted this model. And when you can crowdfund your work, and by tokenizing your song, but tomorrow it can be your books. And that's something that you will see more and more. So tokenizing means that when you have something that has a value, a copyright, for instance, there's something that has a value, right? Copyright, that's future revenues. Okay, say I have my share of future revenues. This is my copyright. So this is something which is a value, like a lease, right? If you are the owner of a building and you rent it to someone, you are entitled to future revenues. So your house has a value. You can sell your house, but you can also rent your house. Okay, your house has a value. Why it has a value? Because it has a potential of future profits. Okay, something which has no potential of future profits has no value in our system. It can have a sentimental value, right? I like the I don't know, book that was offered by my grandfather 30 years ago. But probably it has no economic value, sentimental value. So everything that has an economic value can be tokenized. Tokenized, it means that you represent that value. So the possibility of future revenues, you represent that value on the blockchain. And it's only a representation, the same way, a security, a valor mobiliar, you know, a security, like financial instrument. The same way, a valor mobiliar has a value, but is represented by something which is either a sheet of paper or something purely dematerialized on your bank account. It's purely, it's just a representation of a value. A bond, a share, it's a representation of a value. A token is the same. It's just that the only difference is that you're using a blockchain for representing that value, and with the advantages of a blockchain. So it is immutable, it is transparent, it is liquid, because you can easily sell it and buy it on a blockchain using just your smartphone. And it's liquid because there are many exchange platforms when you can trade those tokens. It's very liquid. And so tokenizing books, meaning, look, I will publish a book, or I will sell a song, and I tokenize my copyright related to my book or my song and buy tokens, because in the future, when I will make profits, you will be entitled to a portion of those profits represented in the tokens, and the tokens being recorded on a blockchain. No one can lie. You got me? Are you following me? The advantage, the purpose of tokenization. So you can do it with copyright, but you can do it with real estate. There are many projects on blockchain now where you tokenize real estate. There is nothing less liquid than real estate. You agree with me? You know, selling your house, wow. You know, yeah, sometimes it's easy, but notary fees, blah, blah, you know, it's not liquid house, not liquid. And there is a crisis, no liquid anymore, period. And so you can tokenize real estate and buy pieces of your real estate. And in the meantime, the tokens can be traded. So you create liquidity. And once you really sell the house and pay the token holders, you only pay the actual token holders upon the sale of the house, because it is represented on the blockchain. No one can lie. Are you following me? So it creates a new economy which is decentralized, more transparent, and more liquid when we talk about economy. So just to bounce back, because it's an interesting question, speaking about tokenization of copyright, this is not our model. It could. I don't say that in the future we will now develop this, but you know, it's like any startup. If you offer a Swiss knife, you know, with all the options, people don't understand what you are doing. Just don't understand, step by step. Yeah, as many books as possible. With as many partners as possible.
Okay, so we need to leave it here.
Yeah.
You can...
I have some books here. You can come to me and talk about my books, and if you want, there are some of them available. Sorry, I'm not supposed to say it, but feel free.
Okay, yeah. So you can talk with Thibaut now, and also you can take a beer if you want. Okay?
Well, it's in French.
Thank you for coming.
For the French speakers. Soon in Spanish. If there are Spanish translators here who want to be part of the adventure of translating books into Spanish and get a reward through smart contract, talk to me. Why not? Yeah? Lucy? So, okay. Yes, because we are running out of time. But Amalek, my first book, is is a science fiction book. It's about Israeli soldiers from Israel, Israeli soldiers that are teleported like in a science fiction movie, you know, like in Star Trek. They are teleported back in time in Auschwitz. So in World War II, in Auschwitz in 1943. So the Israeli soldiers show up. They don't know why, but they show up in the middle of Holocaust, and many things will happen to them.